Hello, welcome back to the woods. Now, Billy Connolly once famously said, there's no such thing as bad weather, just the wrong clothes. Well, we've had quite a lot of bad weather and I've seen an awful lot of people in the wrong clothes. What we're going to look at in this video is, well, some good clothes, some very, very good clothes for that sort of weather. Now, if you are looking for very, very good waterproof, weatherproof clothing, then I think probably the best place to look is, well, have a look at what the people who have to be out of doors in bad weather wear. Surely that would be a good place to start. And those sort of people like the police, Forestry Commission, Mountain Rescue, those guys have to be out in absolutely appalling conditions to rescue other people. So it makes sense that they would have really good gear. And indeed they do, and that is what I am going to look at in this video. An item of clothing that I've used for many, many years, and whenever the weather is looking bad, whenever I'm going somewhere and there's a chance of the weather looking bad, it's always the go-to item that I choose. That jacket is this. This is the KEELA Munro Jacket, and I'm going to take you through why it is such an excellent piece of kit. So the first thing I want to say is this isn't one I've been sent. This is actually my second Monroe jacket. My first one I bought towards the end of the 1990s, and that one was blue and black. And I had it for quite a few years, and I ended up giving it away to a mate of mine who had recently taken up fishing and needed something waterproof. I then had a couple of years in the wilderness without a KEELA jacket, and then I started taking stuff up again, which put me back out in the mountains, and this was my first choice, to go and get myself another one of these. This one, was working it out, I think I've had this one about 14 years, and it truly is a great bit of kit, and it is certainly very tried and tested. So the first time I got one of these, I used to buy some of their outdoor magazines many years ago, and they always did these reviews, and I was looking around for a waterproof jacket that I could use in a mountain and moorland environment, because I was doing a lot of that type of thing way back then. And so I looked at some of the reviews, and as luck would have it, one of the outdoor magazines was doing a big review of mountaineering jackets, and there were all the usuals there. There was Berghaus, North Face, Low Alpine, I don't think Mountain Hardwear was there, but all of the major brands had their top end mountaineering jackets reviewed in that review. But the jacket that came out top, and I think has consistently come out top ever since, is this, the KEELA Munro Jacket. And it's two reasons. One is performance and features, because it has all of the features and all of the performance you would expect with a top grade mountaineering jacket. But it also scored very highly on price, because in that initial review that I saw, it was, well, in some cases less than half the price of the other jackets that were tested. The performance was superb. These were used at the time by RAF mountain rescue teams in Scotland and in Wales, and since then it's been adopted by Forestry Commission. I've seen guys from the Forestry Commission when I've been working with them. They've got KEELA jackets. A friend of mine who is a police officer for the Met Police, he got issued again one of these. His one is all black, the Forestry Commission one's all green. This particular one, which at the time when I bought this was described as black and covert, I don't think is available anymore. However, they do solid black, they also do solid, and I think they call this moss now, but they also do your mountaineering colours, so bright colours, so black and yellow, black and red, black and blue. So you can get it in a wide variety of colour ranges. The actual fabric, well, I'm not entirely sure. It's not Gore-Tex, Sympatex or any of those other type of membranes. It's something they call System Dual Protection, which is a 2-layer fabric. So you have a breathable, weatherproof, durable outer fabric, and then inside there is a breathable lining. Unlike a lot of the jackets that you see nowadays, this isn't a mesh. This is a completely separate, different kind of fabric. And I don't know what it is, but what I do know is it works, and it works exceptionally well. So the fabric, and this one I've had, as I said, about 14 years, and this still keeps the weather out, and I've never reproofed it. I realised it could do probably with a reproof about now, because water no longer beads on the outside. It still, however, does keep the weather out. So yeah, the system is exceptionally good, and I've worn this under some really, really horrible conditions. So features of the jacket, well, you get, we'll start at the top, an excellent hood that is really very, very adjustable. It's got adjusters on the back and the sides. Once it's all done up, you've got your chin guard inside, so you're not going to catch your beard in it. And as you can see, it moves with your head. There's none of that turning your head to the side and looking into the side of your hood. As I said, you've got your chin guard on the inside as well, which is protecting all of this, and it zips up nice and high. It's got a wide peak in that hood as well, and the hood apparently is big enough to wear with a climbing helmet. I've never used one with a climbing helmet, however I have had woolly hats etc. on underneath, and there is plenty of space without it being big and baggy. There's nothing worse than having a hood that's too big, that fills with wind and ends up being more of a hindrance than it is a help. So a very, very good hood. The cut, it's a nice roomy cut, and they are size larger than your regular jacket. This one I've probably gone slightly too large, but I still think it is a really good cut. Reinforced shoulders and arms, so it's a slightly more durable fabric on there, and again across the back where your hip belt and stuff is going to sit from your rucksack or indeed your climbing harness. Adjustable cuffs that are elasticated and velcroed, and they're good at sealing out the weather. We also have some very good pockets. Now, as I said, this is set up as a mountaineering jacket, so it's suited quite well to somebody who would be wearing a harness. So you've got good sized pockets on the top above the area where your harness is going to sit. So you have these pockets up here which are a very good size. They do up with zips, fully waterproof inside, and you can fit all your essentials into those pockets. You also have on the inside a very generously sized mat pocket, which can be there for your valuables, but ideally your OS mat. You also on the other side have a slightly smaller pocket, which probably when I bought this would have taken a mobile phone. Mobile phones are a bit bigger now, however it will take a compass. So again, good pockets, well thought out on this upper half. On the lower half we also have some hand warmer pockets, and what's really nice about these hand warmer pockets is they are micro fleeced lined, so if your hands have been battered by the wind and they're cold from wind chill, you can tuck them in there into that nice warm micro fleece. Now, although it is a micro fleece, it's not overly bulky. It actually is a micro fleece, so it's not particularly bulky, but it is nice and warm and very, very comfortable. Now next up we've got our zip baffle, our zip cover, and again it's a double flap and it has a rain gutter running down on the inside, so it's really designed to keep the weather out, and it does. It's a double skinned jacket, so you've got the outer fabric with that good breathable water hydrophobic lining, so it is quite warm to wear, although it's not padded in any way. To help you deal with the warmth, well, it's got very good pit zips on the inside, which, if I can find the zip, there it is, which open up a long way so you can vent really, really easily, and they are a very good size. Quite often when I'm out in the mountains I'll use a buffalo shirt, and if the weather is really bad, this goes on over the buffalo, and I then open up the zips on the side of the buffalo as well, and you get that good ventilation. Majority of the time I tend to go just for this with a single wall layer underneath, and using the zips, the pit zips, and the wall layer. That does me for about 70% of my time out in the hills. It's such a good system, really, really good. So you're getting a very fully featured mountaineering jacket. Now there is another feature of this jacket as well, again because this is set up as a mountaineering jacket. It also has this, and this is a snow skirt. So what you can do with this is you can, once you've got your waterproof trousers on, etc., you can do this up and it seals and it stops the snow and spindrift going up inside the jacket, which an awful lot of jackets don't have that. But as I said, this is a fully spec mountaineering jacket. Now, back when I got my first one of these, I think it was about £95. This one I think I paid about £120 for, which if you look at a modern mountaineering jacket, well, you're looking at sort of 350 upwards. I checked on the cost of these now. Well, if you buy one, the recommended manufacturer's price is £215. However, looking round, I did a quick Google search on them, and the going price for them seems to be about 165 quid, which does seem like quite a lot of money. However, if you have to spend a lot of time out of doors, you want the best protection there is, and this certainly is. KEELA make other jackets. I've used a couple of theirs. I've used their Kintyre jacket, which again, very, very good. It costs less money, and I used one of their lightweight mountaineering jackets, which I didn't find so good. Weirdly, although it was set up for mountaineering, the hood wasn't particularly good, the fabric wasn't as durable, and overall it wasn't as waterproof. This, the Munro, is absolutely superb, and it's never ever let me down. So if you are in the market for a serious bit of waterproof kit, this is what to go for. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, then remember, hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're not that far off the 30,000 mark for subscribers. I think there's less than 200 to go, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Down below in the description box, I'll put a link up for some of the places that you can get these, and there is also a link down there to my social media, both Instagram and Facebook. There is also a link down there to my Etsy shop, and there's some goodies coming up in there very, very soon. I've just had the first lot of my new cuts kits. I've checked them over, I'm happy with them, and they are going to be going up for sale very, very shortly. Obviously they're going to be offered out to my patrons first, and then whatever is left will go into the shop. I will put a notification up in the communities box for the channel, so keep an eye on the channel and any notifications that do come up. Future videos, well, I've got a few coming up. For those of you who are MSS users, the military sleep systems, I've got one that's going to be all about that, and perhaps a slightly different and possibly better way of using it. We're also going to be looking at a loadout for this time of year where it's not quite got down to freezing, but a slightly different loadout that some of you guys might get some ideas from. So I'm going to be putting that up. I've also got another couple of camp out videos coming up too. So keep your eyes on the channel, and yeah, look out for notifications, etc. I think that's everything. I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe in the woods.